Good evening. Thank you for joining us to discuss Site 129M SE2. This is the middle school that's going to be opening in the Lake Nona area in 2024. We will be opening up the floor for feedback after a brief presentation on the background of the project and the design so far. A few housekeeping notes about how this meeting will work. Attendees are automatically muted with cameras off. Please use the Q&A tool to share your input. You can share your questions at any time, but we'll get to them at the end. If you could advance the slide, Dave, please. Dave, are you able to advance the slide, please? Thank you. Okay, bear with me for just a moment. Okay, so tonight we will have a variety of panelists who will be part of the discussion if needed, and I will be introducing them shortly. If you have any technical issues with WebEx, you can reach their support team at 866-229-3239, extension 2, and then extension 1. I have also added that information into the chat. This meeting is being recorded, and the presentation slides themselves have already been posted at facilities.ocps.net. The video will go up on the Facilities Communications YouTube channel probably at the beginning of next week. Now I know that Board Member Lopez was working on getting logged on. Board Member Lopez, you do look like you're unmuted. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Lauren. My apologies.
No, you made it in perfect time. That worked out beautifully. So Dave, do you mind advancing the slide one more, please, so we can take a look at what we're going to be going over tonight? Okay, so after I do some introductions, we're going to hear from the architect. I'm also going to talk a little bit about the rezoning timeline, and then there will be an opportunity for questions and answers. So Board Member Lopez, if you don't mind just giving a brief welcome, we'd appreciate it.
Thank you so much for being here in this amazing opportunity. I am very happy and excited about the new school. So this is going to be our 10% design meeting. So if you have any question, Lauren is the expert and all the people that are here in the meeting. But if you have other concerns, you can email me to johanna.lopez@ocps.net. So I'm here to serve you, and thank you so much for coming to the meeting.
Thank you, Board Member Lopez. So we have actually sped ahead now to the 30% design meeting, believe it or not. And so tonight you're actually going to be able to see the site plan, which is really exciting. So thank you to Board Member Lopez. We are also going to be joined tonight by, he's on already. Okay, by Charles Lin Lau, who is the Executive Area Director for the Southeast Learning Community. So we have Schenkel Schultz, the architect. We have two representatives from their firm on tonight. Dave Torbert is going to be leading the presentation, and he's waving. See that little tiny waving hand? And then in the same room as Dave is Lynn Lefebvre. Lynn, if you want to wave, people can see you. We have Dave Hotvet is planning to hop on from Walker Company. They are actually going to be building the school, which is very exciting that they're in at this early stage. We have our civil engineer, Garth Ritter, is here from DWMA. Our traffic consultant is Clint Pletzer from AvCon, and he's joined us. From the facility side of the house, we have Maher Chatilla. He is the project manager, and what he does is he brings the architect and the construction manager and OCPS all together on the same page to ensure that what's designed is what's built and that all meets OCPS's specifications. So from our project management team, we have design manager Mo Arthur. I believe the director of construction planning, Jessma Lambert, was going to be joining us. I see Principal Rob McClough from Lake Nona Middle School, which is going to be relieved by this school. My name is Lauren Roth, and I'm the Assistant Director for Public Relations here with Orange County Public Schools. We're also joined by Adam Zubritsky from Transportation and Randy Durkee from our OCPS Police. We also highly value our municipal partners on every project. And this project, we are lucky to work with the City of Orlando. And I know that Jacques Coulon has joined us from the city. So let me show you what the process is going to look like for figuring out which students are going to be attending this school. So as you can see, there is an extensive process for zoning any new school. This is the same process that any new school would go through. And Principal McClough has actually been through it on the elementary school side a number of times. So you will start to hear about this process in roughly September. So pretty soon you should start hearing if you're affected from our student enrollment department. So what they will do is they're going to have a community meeting. They are going to have an opportunity to submit your thoughts on what the zoning line should be. And then there will be a workshop in October to discuss it. And it won't be voted on for board approval until November. So there will be a number of opportunities for members of the public to have input into the zoning map before it is adopted. So on that note, I'm going to turn things over to Dave Torbert with Schenkel Schultz so you can see a little bit more about the project. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. So I want to start by looking at sort of a literally kind of a bird's eye view of the surrounding area surrounding this new school. So on the map, on the aerial map you see here, you see several blue dots that represent some of the existing schools that are in the kind of the immediate vicinity of where the new middle school is going to go. The new middle school is located there where you see the red dot at 129. And then adjacent to that is a purple dot, which is a new elementary school site 130 that is actually sharing the same site as this new middle school. So if we take a little closer look at that site, you can see again here, it's a 30-acre site that's divided between the middle school site on the right-hand side and the elementary school site on the left-hand side. And you can see that the middle school is planned to be opened in August of 2024, whereas currently the elementary school is planned to be open in August of 2025. So as Lauren kind of said at the outset, one of the things that we can share with you in this meeting tonight that we weren't able to share at the 10% meeting is the site plan. And so you can see here again, you know, the colored side on the right-hand side of the image that you see here is sort of the middle school portion of the site. And this portion over here is the elementary school site. The elementary school has literally just started the design process, so there's not a lot of detail. It's not going to be a square box. That's just a placeholder that you see here. But what we're really here to talk tonight about is the middle school side of the site, this side. So you can see that the buildings are starting to take shape in this design, and they're located here with these kind of red shapes that you see. And so the buildings are organized around a secure central courtyard. And that secure central courtyard, what I mean by secure is that it is closed off. It's a secure area in which the students will have to circulate between the buildings throughout the school day. Now, right here at the very front of the school, you see this yellow dot that highlights the front door. That is going to be a single secure entry point. By single secure entry point, I mean that during the school day, that will be the only way that anyone will be able to enter and exit the school or enter the school. And it provides the staff a high degree of control over who comes and goes to into that school during the day. A very, very important safety feature. To the right side of this, you can see the parking and parent drop-off area. And so this area has been designed, you can see that the red arrows that kind of highlight the way that the queuing line for the drop-off and pickup times will queue through the parking lot to kind of maximize the amount of stacking that can occur on site. In terms of the overall traffic, there are some turn lanes. There's a There's a deceleration lane that is on the southbound side of Pearson Road along this edge of the site. And there is a turn lane coming the other direction on Pearson that will allow for really smooth access into entry and exit into the parking area. On the site, as we go kind of to the south, you can see all the athletic amenities, the soccer field, soccer track and field that's located here, the basketball and tennis courts, basketball or bike racks, excuse me. And then along the southern edge, you can see we're planning for future portables and a future permanent building addition for the campus. Now, since this site is shared between a middle school and elementary school, it offers the opportunity to kind of use a single bus loop for both schools. And that's in fact how this site has been designed. You can see that central bus loop is located right here between the middle school on the right-hand side and the elementary school on the left. The bus entry is located here. And again, right up here off of Luminary Boulevard, there's a turn lane for the buses that are planned as they come and go from the site. This access down here is really only intended for service. So for service vehicles to access, and really will not be a way that the buses come and go to the site. Really only service vehicles that are coming to the middle school or the elementary school will use that entrance. So the parking has been planned for 181 cars. The stacking that I mentioned will stack up to 190 cars in that conga line, or the route that's indicated here with the red arrows through the parking area. And the bus stacking will accommodate a minimum of 20 buses. Actually, will accommodate a few more than that in the overall stacking for the bus. So that's an overview of where the site plan is at currently. The overall project budget for the new middle school is $40 million. The school is being designed for 1,350 students, although the core elements such as the cafeteria, the gymnasium, and the media center are being designed to handle as many as 1,500 students. Currently, the site plan for the middle school is occupying a little more than 16 acres of the overall 30-acre site. And again, the planned opening in August of 2024 for the project. So for those of you all who participated at the 10% community meeting, you know that we conducted an online survey. It asked these 7 questions that you see here on the screen. And we got over 150 folks from the community participated and gave responses. And really the point of that was not just to address, the standard things that you would expect to see in any middle school. I mean, this middle school is going to have classrooms and science labs and art labs and music spaces, athletic amenities, all of those things that you would normally expect to see in an OCPS middle school. But really the point of the questionnaire or the survey was to get input from the community about additional spaces or programs or concepts or ideas that need to be built into this new school, because this is a brand new middle school design. This won't be like any middle school that's been done for OCPS previously. And so OCPS really wanted to get the community's input on things that they felt were important to be kind of baked into the recipe, if you will, of this new middle school. And so after looking at those, 150 responses, there were a lot of ideas and a lot of things mentioned. Some were more frequently mentioned than others. And so we put together this, we call this a word cloud that kind of represents a lot of the input that was received. And it kind of starts to give an idea of what some of the bigger, more frequent themes and ideas that were mentioned were. You can see the very prominent flexibility. That was one of the most often things that was mentioned in the feedback, along with some other key concepts and ideas. So what we want to do is spend a little time and talk about kind of how some of that input is starting to be formulated and work its way into the new middle school design. So first, that idea of flexibility, it kind of goes along with the idea of collaboration from an educational standpoint. And so that's manifesting itself in terms of we're looking at ways to build in flex spaces, also referred to as technical resource centers, to provide some flex space for the academics. We're looking at kind of reimagining the media center to create more of a 21st century media center it's a media center that's about more than just kind of the quiet library where the books are stored. It's a media center that's being designed so that it can do a multitude of different kinds of activities and really provide a lot of flexibility to the students and staff in terms of how it's used. One of the key ingredients that's being looked at and factored into the new middle school is the notion of having flexible furniture that can move and it can adapt to the different needs and different educational modalities throughout the course of the day, the week, the year, and again, provide a lot of opportunity, a lot of flexibility for the staff and students throughout their day. Flexibility in terms of how the building designed. I mentioned earlier that the core spaces, the media, cafeteria, and gymnasium spaces are being planned for expansion. So this school is going to have a cafeteria that's designed to accommodate up to 1,500 kids, even though the school is going to open, is being planned to open with only 1,350 kids. So planning for that kind of flexibility is a key ingredient that we're factoring in to the overall design of this school as well. Technology is a key element that was mentioned quite a bit in the responses. And so the new school is going to have Wi-Fi connectivity throughout. OCPS is going to be continued committed to the one-to-one of computers to students within this facility. And we're also putting in things like a help desk and a Genius Bar as a part of that 21st Century Media Center that I mentioned to really kind of provide additional support and infrastructure to really make this a very technology-rich new campus for OCPS. Safety and security, was something that was mentioned a lot within the survey. Unfortunately, in today's world, if you pay attention to the news, it's something that's very, very important in the design of schools. Again, the school will be designed with that single secure entry point or sally port that you see some examples of, right there at the front door to really control who comes and goes from the school during the school day. The campus itself is organized around the secure courtyard to provide that safe, protected environment for the kids to circulate through during the day. And of course, the school will have a security system consisting of cameras and card readers and intrusion detection to really enhance the overall safety and security of the educational environment. Health and wellness was mentioned quite a lot in the surveys. And, look, creating a very healthy and an environment that promotes wellness is particularly important in the educational environment. I mean, the bottom line is that when students feel good, they learn better. And at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to create here is an excellent educational environment for the students and staff. And so that means incorporating things like the idea of biophilia. That's a really fancy word that means, doing things that bring the outdoors in, like you can kind of see in this image over here on the right-hand side with the large windows and the young lady sitting there working on her laptop. That affects the circadian rhythms. And it just makes people feel better about the space that they're in. And again, when they feel better, they're going to learn. It also involves things like color psychology, creating, dynamic color environments that really, again, affect people's mood and behavior. And then, of course, incorporating the necessary support and counseling spaces within the overall program as well are all important aspects that are being built into this new middle school. Outdoor learning was mentioned quite a bit. This new school is going to have an agri-sciences lab as well as an art lab within it. And both of those spaces are going to have outdoor patios, that can create those outdoor learning opportunities like you see in this image on the right-hand side. The enclosed courtyard, again, provides a protected space outdoors where learning activities and classroom activities can happen. And there also will be an outdoor dining facility that will be a part of that courtyard that will, provide a covered area where some of those activities can happen as well. Sustainability. OCPS has had a long time commitment to sustainability in all of the facilities that they build. And I'm going to talk on the next slide about some of the standard things that are going to be a part of this middle school that are a part of all OCPS middle schools. But with this new generation of schools, these new designs, OCPS is upping the bar on themselves a little bit, and they're really looking into how to incorporate what are called high performance design strategies. Things like lowering, trying to achieve a low EUI, which stands for energy use intensity, which in essence means lowering the amount of energy it takes to operate this school. Building a very, very tight building envelope, because that also drives the energy use of the building down. And even considering and looking at strategies to maybe make the building future proof, if you will, and be ready for net zero when that photovoltaic technology really gets to the point that it's really economical and makes sense. All of these are considerations that we're looking at with OCPS, how we can even up the bar on sustainability in this new facility, even to that next level. So with regard to sustainability, as I mentioned, OCPS is committed to that. This slide really references some of those baseline things that OCPS does in all of their facilities, and that you can absolutely expect to see incorporated into this new middle school as well. So going back to the schedule a little bit, I mentioned earlier, the end objective is to have the school open in August of 2024. You can see we started this process in April of this year, and so we're in the middle of that yellow bar that you see on the design on the screen, the design, permitting, and bidding phase of the project. Beginning first part of next year is when this project will move into the construction phase. With that construction completing in June, again, all of that targeted at the August 2024 opening. So that kind of brings us to the end of what we had to share with you tonight. So I think the idea here is at this point, we'd be happy to answer any questions that anybody may have.
Absolutely. And Dave, if you could move it forward one more slide, we can show people how to do that. So you do have the opportunity to ask questions through the Q&A tool. And if for some reason you can't find that, you can also use the chat. So we're happy to accept those questions right now. While you guys are thinking about what questions you might have, I did want to mention that Yamanel Reyes has joined us from the city of Orlando. I did not see her before. Schenkel Schultz also does have Patrick Rao on, and Walker has sent Scott McIntyre since Dave was not able to make it. So I just want to thank those folks for joining us also. At this point, we do not have any questions in the chat or the Q&A. So for those of you folks that are listening, this is your opportunity. Okay, good. I'm glad everybody's able to hear us, because Board Member Lopez did have some technology issues and had to drop off.
He joined as a guest.
Okay, well, at this point, if we don't have any questions, oh wait, I think something might have just come in. Okay, so there was a question of when we might do a groundbreaking. Dave, do you mind going back to the timeline slide? Okay, we're getting some questions. Good, keep them coming. Okay, so typically we would do a groundbreaking about at the line between the yellow and the gray. So it would be kind of in that February 2023 timing. So that might be a little more specific than it actually will be. It kind of depends how things time out a little bit, but look in that general time zone, time area for when we do the groundbreaking. So there was also a request that we go back to the surrounding context. Do you mind pointing out where the site is again?
So again, the site is the site for the new middle school is represented by this red dot, which is right off of Luminary Boulevard, right at the intersection of Luminary Boulevard and Pearson, which is just west of Narcoossee Road. You can see the Orange County, Osceola County line is right here. And then some of the existing schools in the vicinity include Eagle Creek Elementary School, Lake Nona Middle School, which is literally right around the corner, Lake Nona High School a little further to the north, and then of course Laureate Park Elementary School is located right here.
Okay, great. And we did get a question about how Luminary Boulevard will be affected. Do you mind going forward one more slide? Maybe one more. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Do you mind pointing out, like, you know, the turn lanes and how all that would work, or should we defer that to the traffic engineer? David?
I mean, well, first, let me say that you know, this project is not designing the roadways, but look, what we have been given by the developer is that Luminary Boulevard is being planned with a turning, a median cut and a turn lane located right here, which coincides with the bus loop entrance. So there's a turn lane right here for the westbound traffic. There's another turn lane on Luminary that will be built or constructed here that coincides with the median cut and this roadway that'll be built on the west side of the elementary school site. This is Pearson along the eastern edge of the site. There is a decel lane for the southbound side. In other words, a right-hand turn lane that gets those cars out of the flow of traffic to allow them to make that right-hand turn. And then there will be a left-hand turn lane on Pearson coming the other direction.
Dave, this is Clint with AvCon. Just the latest analysis showed that a northbound left turn lane was not needed.
Okay,
There is a southbound right turn, and it'll probably extend a little further. We have it in the graphic right now, but the northbound left was determined to be not needed. And just to add on to what Dave's saying is the buses come in on Luminary. That's the only actually impact for traffic on Luminary itself is the buses right there. All other traffic is going to come off Pearson, and that's a typical OCPS practice of trying to put the entrance on a little bit of a quieter road. And all entrances, the future elementary, the middle, and the bus have been analyzed. And with the projected traffic in the background and the projected traffic of the school, we've come up with an acceptable level of service. Which basically is a fancy way of saying that the traffic's going to be okay. It's going to work, and it's part of the OCPS process is to analyze that traffic, and everything we're doing does work for the community.
Beautiful. Thank you, Dave and Clint. Dave, we've gotten a couple questions about the rezoning process. So do you mind going back in the presentation and pulling up that slide? Okay, yes, thank you. This is the one. Okay, so for those of you who are asking about who will attend, that process is actually about to kick off. In September, there will be the first community meeting or meetings about zoning this school. That is a process that is run out of our student enrollment department. So look for some communications from them to families in the community. And there will be a number of opportunities to participate in meetings or submit answers to either a survey or an email so that school can be zoned. Right now, what we know is that this is going to affect Lake Nona Middle School and that it is to the south of Lake Nona Middle School. So, you know, it would likely not be affecting families on the north side of Lake Nona Middle School. But all that will be discussed in that step 5, 6, and 7 period. And there was a question about road closures. Meher or Scott, can you comment on how, you know, if we're doing any work out there on the roads, how that would work? Or is that something we would work with the developer to get the word out on?
It's a little bit early at this stage, so it's going to go through the process of design and getting permitted by the city before we start the shoulder construction or the southbound right turn lane. That's the only really modification that will be done. Everything else is already in the works, either completed or about to be completed by Tavistock.
Yeah, and I did want to mention that, you know, we're working closely with Tavistock throughout this project, and, you know, they have some reps that are on the call tonight also, and they've been great about getting the word out there about our meetings. So I know they'll be communicating as well. We're lucky to have a partner that communicates so well. So that's terrific. Any other questions? Because I think we've gone through everything that was in. Oh, I see something just came in. Okay, so I think we've answered the question about zoning. So that'll be a process run through student enrollment. But if you could please put up the timeline one more time, Dave. So I guess the to Evelise, I guess the question is, are you looking for this schedule or the rezoning timeline? I guess we can show both, but both, both. Okay, so here's the schedule for the school. So construction will start somewhere around February 2023. We're still in design, and the school will open in 2024. And here's the schedule for the zoning to determine which students will attend. And so we do tend to find that once communities find out that schools are going to affect them, of course, they get a little more interested in you know, this sort of information. So the next meeting about this school will be at the 60% design stage. So we had that early visioning meeting, that was 10%. This is 30%. And the next one after that will be 60%. So, you know, if you're here today, we have your name and your email address now and can absolutely communicate with you about the next one. But just, you know, look for it in the same channels you heard about it this time. If you got a mailer, you'll be getting a mailer again. If you heard about it from like Nona Middle School or the board member, they will be sharing it out again the next time too, just to make sure that everybody is aware. All right, so I believe that covers all the questions. I am going to drop my email address into the chat in case anybody has any questions later. And I'll also read it. My email address is Lauren, LAUREN .Roth, ROTH at OCPS.net. And if I'm not the person to answer your question, I'll get it to the right place. But the rezoning is something that is handled out of our student enrollment department. So do look to hear from them in the future. All right. Thank you everybody for your time. I appreciate it. And we'll see you later this year.
Bottom, leave.